Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Between Two Warships. This is Tanks for the Mammeries, playing World of Warships closed beta test. The series is Motorboating with Mammeries. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for our third episode. And today we're going to have ExESGO, who is a player out of the Philippines. He plays on both the North American server and the Southeast Asia server in World of Warships. He is an alpha tester and a beta tester, and I've got him here today to talk about the game with us, talk about how things may be different between the Southeast Asia server and the North American server, and just generally get to know some of the players and influencers in the community as we've done in the first two videos. So, ExESGO, why don't you go ahead and say hello, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Hello, I'm ExESGO. As what Kasky said, I'm from Asia server, and I'm actually just really glad to be here. I actually woke up pretty early to be here, but I always just normally wake up pretty early here.
Right, so it's about, so for folks in the U.S., it is, or at least East Coast U.S., it's about 7 o'clock at night, which means it's about 7 o'clock in the morning in the Philippines. And you are based in Manila, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And Manila is the capital of the Philippines, is that right?
Yes,
About how many people are in Manila?
it's considered one of the most, I think, one of the densest metropolitan areas in the world. So if I were to just go a quick check on that, Metro Manila should have around. It should have, let me double check. But all I just remember is just super crowded. So the population density from is the total amount of people in Metro Manila as of 2010 was like 11 million people,
Wow.
and that's in like a area of 638 square meters. So that's actually no, 246 square meters. Yeah, 246 square meters. So you jam like 11 million people in like a tiny
Yeah,
metropolitan area.
that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. So, um, did you get interested in sort of World of Warships and stuff based on the military history around the Philippines?
It's partially because of that, and partially because of like a certain anime game, but it's
Uh,
mostly because of the history here. Because I know how many naval actions just happened just off the coast of the Philippines
right.
over the course of World War II.
Yeah, exactly. So, tell us a little bit about what do you do? What do you do for a living? Are you a student? Are you employed? What's your situation there?
I am a student. I'm currently taking up graphic design, so it's just really that. So I don't really work. I actually sort of like work. I do some part time stuff and freelancing, but I'm just pretty much most of the time I'm just really just a student who just studies.
Gotcha.
And I think I'm gonna be on my last year of college soon. So yeah.
Oh, great, good stuff. So, in your spare time, any other hobbies besides World of Warships or computer games?
Any other hobbies would be like if I used to play airsoft, and but nowadays I jog around just to keep my health up, and then I also collect like toys and stuff like that. I collect hot toys and anime figurines when I if I have like if I still have if I have money from like my part time or stuff like that.
Right, gotcha, gotcha. So, all right, well, let's do this, folks. We've already divisioned up here, and we're going to jump into our Hashidates and start a battle. And during the course of the battle, as you know, we're going to just have a little conversation and get to know ExESGO a little bit better. And he does have a YouTube channel that he has done a lot of videos, World of Warships, as well as some other games. He does Grand Theft Auto and War Thunder, things like that. So he's posting some videos up about gameplay and some hints and tips for World of Warships. So we'll talk about that. He'll plug his channel a little bit later on. And then at the end of the video, I will, in the comments section of this video on YouTube, I will put a link to his channel. So please do check it out, like and subscribe to him. But until then, in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get into a game here. So I'm going to go ahead and click the battle button. XS, you ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So he
Oh,
is
we're already it's in a battle.
he is coming to us from the Philippines, and if there is any lag, we'll just chalk it up to that. So we're very first day of open beta here, and we are in some tier 1 ships. So let's see how it works out. Have you had
Would you
any?
believe
Go
Would you
ahead.
believe that my ping to NA is actually better than my ping to the Asia server?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me actually, because you're probably plugged right into the cable. Um, whereas you probably have a hop, you probably have a microwave hop or something in the Philippines. Whereas, to the U.S. you probably get right straight into the ground, and then
Yeah, probably. And as far as I know, the local ISPs, I think their reasoning is that we don't consume Asian content, so we just like they just directly plug into like the US.
interesting.
Even though there's like a lot of us here actually use a lot of Asian content. But yeah, like it's just annoying just to be the Philippines with the internet. I think if we're not mistaken, in Asia, I think we're like just above Afghanistan in better internet, and that Afghanistan's at the very lowest of that list.
Yeah, I tell you, I spent 10 years in Afghanistan working for NATO and the U.S. military
Mm.
and British military, things like that. And one of the things that I worked very hard to do was ensure that my crew had good internet over there. We actually had a lot of staff from the Philippines who would come over and work for us. Just really great folks. I'm still friends with a lot of them on Facebook and keep up with them and their families and that sort of thing. So I hear you. I've experienced the Afghan internet firsthand.
Yeah.
All right.
And then just make it slightly better. Yeah.
So you're coming to my side. I think we get around these little islands down here in I-6.
We should be able to
Okay.
control these islands.
I can shoot this guy. Oh, there's another guy there too.
Turn around. There's the other EU also. They are dancing.
Yeah, they really are, aren't they?
AI in this game is actually pretty. They're actually pretty good, but there are times they act pretty dumb. But when they actually act pretty smartly, they act pretty smartly.
Are we in AI or are we in? Did I
Yeah,
do?
we are in AI battles.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay.
Sorry, you should have said something. I'll fix that for the next one.
No, because I mean, I didn't notice we were in AI battle because in my screen, like from my tab thing, it's just like it shows. We're in mine's selected to random battle, so it's always just selected to random battle.
Yeah, what I was doing before I got on, the reason we're in co-op is because right before I got on with you, I was testing to make sure the sound and settings were better than they were last night. Oh, that's all right. It's my fault.
Sorry.
I slowed down.
Just a bit of hate tap there.
Last night the in-game sounds were a little loud and kind of cut into Elijah as he was talking to me. And so I was trying to adjust the settings, and I didn't want to do it in a real game because I didn't want to mess other people up as I was doing it.
Ah, yeah. Fair enough.
I will say this, folks, to those of you out there listening, if you're just jumping in to World of Warships, the co-op battle mode is such a fantastic mode. Oh, that's a South Carolina. We got to avoid the South Carolina out there.
Yeah, you gotta avoid the South Carolina.
All right, I'm going to spin around and get back behind that island before he turns around. Well, if you're staying where you are, do you want to spin around or you want to keep going?
Yeah, I'm
after?
gonna be spinning around pretty soon now. I'm just gonna put some HE shells into him just to try and get him on fire.
Roger. All right, I'm spinning around.
He's turning around also.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's not. Chester's just shooting at me specifically.
All right. All right, I'm going to keep plugging away at that guy. So, tell us about your computer. What kind of rig are you running?
I have a Intel 477 i7 4770.
Okay.
Not the K overclocked one, so it's like it's just your everyday 4770. And then I also have like 780 NVIDIA 780.
Okay.
It's actually I bought the 780 during launch, so it was like I probably should have waited for a 780 Ti. Sort of like a minor regret there, but the 780 is a pretty good card. I can get like 60 plus FPS in this game. and
That's
then
yeah, that's good.
I have 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, or was it? I forgot if it was DDR3 or DDR4. Oh well, but yeah, I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and for storage, I have a 2 terabyte Caviar Green and a 256 gigabyte uh that Samsung Evo 840.
Gotcha. Yeah, because if you're like you said, if you're doing graphic stuff, you've got a pretty good rig.
Yeah, you gotta have a pretty good rig.
Oh shit, there's that guy right there. Let's hit him.
Yeah. The Chester is going towards our direction. The North Carol is just, avoiding.
Yeah, I'm trying
I
to
think
hit
we
that.
should focus down the Chester while he's still
That's what I'm
here.
doing. I'm firing on the Chester. He's bouncing because of his angle. He's bouncing a lot of my fire. There he goes. All right, he's
Good
dead.
kill. Focus on the Hashidate, 3.4 kilometers.
Yep,
Or something
roger.
out.
He's
Never
gone.
mind.
All right. Let's take out
So now-
that cruiser at 4.5 kilometers. That's the Erie.
Just watch out that island though, because the Carolina is just there.
Roger. So what do you think
Nope,
the difference
can't fly
is?
over the island.
What's
What do you
your
think the difference is?
the difference between the players on the Southeast Asia server and the players on the North American server? And the reason I ask that is because I know there's a lot of talk in World of Tanks about the play style and the general sort of like cultural differences between Southeast Asia and North America. Do you see that in the World of Warships as well?
I think we sort of see it because how often do you have people here who would abuse, like, say, the blue line? Because in Asia in general, I see like every match there's always like 3 or 4 people who would abuse the blue line mechanic. So it's like I don't know why, but for some Asian countries, I'm not going to be generalizing or saying here, but I think there's some cultures where they would like abuse the mechanic because it's currently in the game, even though it's like a mechanic that's heavily frowned upon.
Right.
But so what else? Like
And you don't see that in the U.S.?
I know I've seen threads about it on Reddit and stuff like that about like people about the blue line, but you don't see it like in Asia. Like there are threads like every so often popping up like complaining about the blue line. Like Wargaming should fix it, and as what I know is they are going to fix it. So yeah, it's a mechanic which it's just annoying. It's like I just remember the only thing I only remember long ago was that there was it wasn't the blue line was actually like a solid hard line. So if you hit it, you just stop. It's not like the blue line now, which where if you like you could actually just slide around it. And it's just it's okay. It's not game breaking, but it's like it's really just I would call it scummy because you're like abusing something and like it actually while it makes it easier to hit you, it just looks really bad to be
Yeah.
honest. Just mentally and like just looking at it. What else would I say is different from Asian players?
How about
I
the
think
cursing?
Asian players are a bit more passive. We're very passive players. Like a lot of the time, you just see like battleships hanging out on the back, and I mean, normally that's the reason why I've been losing during the start of the test. I couldn't actually carry a team because I've been playing destroyers. Like, what happens is that all my battleships just tend to be at the back, just trying to like
Right.
snipe.
Right.
And it's just really annoying. And the problem is you can't just tell them in chat, hey, go guys, go push, because most of the time most of them can't actually speak English or their understanding of English is limited. So it gets annoying.
Got you.
Because Asia is not like, America. I think it's like you guys only have you have Spanish and then you have Brazilian and then you have English.
Yep.
Other times you got some other language. But in Asia you have Thai, you have Vietnamese, you have Chinese, you have
Malay.
yeah, you got all those different languages there, and it's just times some people, well, they didn't learn how to speak English, so like there's a huge language barrier at times.
I think that's a lot like the EU because you have
It's more like the EU. It's more
Yeah.
like the EU.
Polish, Russian, German, Italian, French, Spanish, English. God knows what else you've got over there. Bosnian or the Serbo-Croat, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I can see that. Um, oh, that's interesting. So is there a lot of cursing on the Southeast Asian server, or is it mainly the North American server and that you noticed?
Rage isn't as common in the Asia server, but occasionally you'd see someone just really just go like start raging. But normally, I think it would be Australian players who are just really pissed off Singaporean or Filipino players.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, how many languages do you speak? Do you speak?
I can speak fluently. I speak English and Filipino, but I can speak some very little Mandarin, along with some of some Hokkien,
Okay.
just a dialect in China. And then I can also speak also a very little amount of Spanish because I had to learn Spanish in high school.
Right.
But
Now,
I'm not proficient at it.
is Spanish because of the history of colonialism with the Spanish in the Philippines, or was it just an elective that you took?
Spanish isn't exactly taught as often in high school. It just so happened that the high school I moved to was like they taught Spanish because I'm not really sure why, but it's more common to actually see a school teach Chinese than
Yeah,
Spanish.
I could totally see that. Okay, well let's. You've got a Chikuma, and I'm going to do the Umakazi here, and we'll do our second battle. And while we're getting ready to jump into that, how did you get involved in being a beta tester? And you say you were also an alpha tester, is that right?
Yes, I was a alpha tester. I remember joining around December or around like December of last year, or was it November?
Okay.
But yeah, it was like around quarter 4 anyways, so I was able to join in the alpha test during that time. So like yeah, my interest as to why I joined the alpha test, I think I said it was because like of the naval battles in the Philippines. And,
Right.
well, yeah, because the Philippines, if I'm not if history remembers right, this is where the Philippines like this is where the battle of Leyte Gulf happened. This is where the battle of the Philippine Sea happened. This is the Musashi was just found off the Philippine Sea.
That's right.
Recently.
That's right.
So it was like a lot of ships,
Yep.
a lot of ships, a lot of major naval battles here.
Right. And
And
so,
the irony of that is just like for a country that went through like some of the one of the biggest naval battles in history, we barely have a navy.
well, you know, that's a whole different video you and I could talk about the Spratlys and all of the Chinese stuff going on.
Yeah,
And
but we don't want to. I think it's best to never bring in politics to a game.
I agree with you.
It's bad. It's really bad juju.
I hear you. Yeah, that's why we won't do it on this one, but you and I could have 4-hour conversation on that. But yeah, all right. Well, so between this and World of Tanks, which of the games do you prefer?
Right now, I prefer World of Warships. This is a. It's a. I'll just leave it as World of Warships has Asia has better management than World of Tanks Asia. I'll just leave it at that.
Ah, interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. So that answers the question because the next question was and why. So fine. So before the
Sorry.
wipe, how many games in World of Warships do you think you had in on your in
My
total?
account, I had around I think 648 if I'm not mistaken, because I did a final count before the check of the where I could see if I could get the beta rewards,
Okay.
and I was able to get like a Des Moines, which I made a video of, and then I think I was also very near to getting a Montana. Could have been really good, but yeah. My initial plan was actually like when I joined the beta was to like rush up to get the Shimaka, the Japanese destroyer line, but I didn't push through with that plan and decided to get a Des Moines instead. Once I saw the raw power of a Des Moines just unloading shells at you every 5 seconds,
Right.
so it was just pretty godly to look at.
I really
Or
screwed this up.
Oh, we got a Ashidate moving up. He's got camo on. Huh.
I messed this up. I hit Flippin' Island.
We all do. Did you pop smoke?
Yeah, I didn't make the turn. I can't believe I didn't make the turn.
That guy's paying attention. You know, to be honest, I always like there's some assist. There's like the guy who's yelling that their torpedoes off port, off starboard, like that. I just feel that's too much hand holding. I
Yeah.
feel like the players should be aware of like their situation, and and I always preach the number one thing you should be is situational awareness, but there's always people who tell me that no, that cannot save you. Well, that is true. So like the point of situational awareness is to actually not to be aware of your surroundings, so that in case you do get like at the really short end of the stick, what you do is it turns from like avoiding damage into mitigation of damage. So if you're in a battleship, you try to just minimize how much damage you take in so you could still be alive.
Right.
That's the mindset I've been going with, but of course there's like some things here which are like unfathomably broken, but yeah.
Well, situational awareness for me would really save my life in a lot of situations, just because I am not paying attention to the flippin' islands, and I end up
But it
running.
happens from time to time. You just misestimate how you're moving around, and then you just hit an island.
I think
And
if you watch my videos, access, you'd see in every flipping one of them I had an island. I'm so
oh yeah,
bad
I
at
sort
it.
of noticed that.
I do. I hit more shit in this game.
But to be honest, I found that I know I would call it like belly flopping. I don't know. I just give it the term belly flopping because it sort of feels like what I do in like games like Red Orchestra, where I need to belly flop around just to like survive. But I belly flop myself in the destroyer, hit myself on an island when I need to. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just a lot of mine is just I'm maneuvering for shots and
Yeah.
or to get away from shots, and that's
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm gonna get that. Ooh, I need to hit that guy. There are a lot of people on this side of the map. I got
They
him.
are.
I got him. All right, he's dead. Now this guy.
Wait, I have a question. Is World of Warships servers in the US similar to like to NA, like similar how they did in World of Tanks, where you have like an Eastern and a Western cluster, or something
Not
like
yet.
that?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Okay, so it's just a single server right now.
So far, that's correct. All right, hit somebody else with a torpedo. That's good.
I don't like it. Like there are times where just like you're targeting like this person, it misses, and it just hits the person behind him, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening, because there's so many of them that piled up on this side.
Yeah. I remember like in beta, it's like I was in my Kagero and I would just like drop torpedoes and estimate where they are, and then all of a sudden like there's like all these people there, like oh okay, and then I hit someone. Like the first like always it's always like the first ship in front who like notices and he starts dodging, but the guy behind him like just I don't know what they're doing. They just eat a torpedo or two.
Absolutely, no idea what's going on. They just steaming along.
Yeah, I guess that's why they added in the assist because the guy telling you where their torpedoes at, because I guess people just don't really pay attention that much. But yeah. And while that assist infuriates me, I mean it's been pretty helpful at times. But more often than not, I can actually see the torpedoes before he's like getting it at me, or the markers on screen that appear when
Yeah,
I'm nearby.
exactly. What do you think of this? What do you think of this hydroacoustic thing that they've got in the game now?
It's I don't know, to be honest. It just feels like you're better off sticking the anti-aircraft, the enhanced anti-aircraft over that. It just over utility wise, like yeah, it's nice to scan for torpedoes, but is there any real point?
Yeah,
Because I mean, if you're paying attention to the battle, like some people would hit me for this again, but if you're paying attention to the battle, you'd see like, oh, there's a destroyer there. I should probably start mentally in my mind. I should probably start avoiding that because there's a chance like you always assume that they always have their torpedoes ready, or like a cruiser with torpedoes. Like you just assume that, especially when they start like showing their broadside, you know they're probably going to be dropping torpedoes. So like you just look at it, like you just look at the cues that they're doing in their movements, and most people like just give away the cues of what they're doing. I give away the cues of what I'm doing because yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Or I sit there just a little too long, and
Yeah.
and get killed for it. But yeah. So what's your favorite ship?
Like ship class or just ship itself?
Well, ship class. Start with ship class, and then after that, tell me about your favorite ship within that class.
My favorite ship, I guess, would be The Des Moines.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because and that would be of course cruisers. So, well, American cruisers are one of they're just I generally find them really good because they have like a massive they have really good DPM compared to like Japanese cruisers. Although Japanese cruisers can actually hit pretty hard and yeah, but just at Des Moines, just like it has really good anti-aircraft firepower, and then you pair that with like a 5 second autocannon. So, I mean, 5 second auto-loaded cannon, and it just becomes you can just blap stuff with HE and stuff like that really hard, really fast, and it's just it's a great little ship. I like it, and I'm grind on my main account on the Asia server. I'm actually grinding up that again along with the Japanese destroyer line.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Umikaze when I had it in closed beta, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty upset that they actually dropped out the extra smoke screen thing because it had 3, and then I was able to get the 2 more for a total of 5, and it was just really a tremendous amount of fun.
That is true. I mean, yeah, I sort of understand the nerfs that they did because probably a lot of the battleship players are complaining about it, and at times like Smoke is pretty broken. Like you have a destroyer sitting inside Smoke and he's just shooting at you. He's like firing his main guns. You can see the shells like the tracer fire just coming at you, and you're like, eh, I can't see him.
Yeah.
It's just pretty annoying that way.
Oh shit.
Which I think they tried to address in this patch, but I'm not in the latest version, which is now 4.0. I think they addressed that somewhat, but it's still somewhat there. But to be honest, I think what they should do is just fix the spotting mechanics and then bring the smoke duration back up to like around to around 30 seconds or like 40 seconds at most. Because right now 20 seconds just doesn't feel enough to put a smoke screen, and it takes like the smoke screen doesn't come down like as fast.
I agree.
It takes quite some time for the smoke screen to actually be there.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with that.
So like from a game, I mean, yeah, I've actually been having pretty good success in destroyers like lately, but early on I wasn't really having much success because like it just gets pretty hard to carry to carry games in this game. Oh, I see. Oh, wait, no, there's one more guy.
Yeah, I'm on him.
Our victory is in sight.
One. Ooh, there goes that destroyer.
Oh, that cruiser down there is just one shot. I'm gonna assume the Hashidare should be able to handle him.
One would think, but I'm gonna head over that way.
Would assume.
So let me ask you this.
There
Oh, that's it. Right. I think we have time for one more game. You want to do one more game?
Yeah, I guess I could do one more game.
Let's do one more real quick.
One more in Ichikuma.
Okay. That was pretty good though. 2 kills, 2 torpedo strikes. I'll take that. I will take that all day long. You gonna do the same ship? I'll do the same one as well.
I'm gonna be just running Ichikuma.
Okay. So this game has gone through significant changes since early alpha. What's gone now that you wish had stayed?
Right now, what I wish I stayed in the game was I guess the only thing I'll just limit it to this is the blue line mechanics back then. Because back then the blue line mechanics, you just hit it, you stop. Nowadays it's you hit it, you slide. So
Right.
I prefer it being the stop instead of like a slide because the abuse on the Asia server is just hilarious.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Like you see a battleship just hanging around the blue line and abusing it, like turning left and right just to dodge your shells.
Yeah.
And he's just sliding on that blue line, and it just infuriates me. And I mean, I can kill him, but because they tend to be like their movements are pretty obvious because they're just gonna hang around the blue line and just ship themselves left and right.
Right. So you know
obvious
how to
what
fight
they
him.
do.
Yeah, you know how to fight him if that's the case.
I know how to fight them, but it just annoys me that,
Yeah.
that such a mechanic is being abused.
I
Like
got you.
I could see why they made the blue line like bounceable, so that in case you hit it, you could bounce back in the fight. But as of right now, it just seems too abused.
Yeah. Well, what would you besides that? Is there anything you would add to the game or take out of the game now?
The old yeah, the old smoke mechanics for the amount of smoke and the time of the smoke duration from destroyers back from the beta,
Totally agree
the
with
last
that.
patch, and then what else?
All right, I'm gonna put some torps on this guy that's
Which one,
The St.
Louis or
Louis.
the?
Yeah, the St. Louis. That's gonna come around this island.
I'm gonna give you some covering fire, I suppose.
Hopefully, I can do this textbook and stay out of visual range.
Yeah. St. Louis are just pretty much they're pretty much the Des Moines and the Cleveland of tier 3.
Yeah.
So it's like they just output so much shells at you, and the damage. I mean, it's just hilarious. Like they've already nerfed the St. Louis by like 4 kilometer range, but it still could like do 1,000 damage to like tier 3 the battleships at a time, and it's just like just 1,000 damage, and you give it like a quick reload, and it could just like dack a battleship down just really fast.
He's gonna hit that line.
He's gonna hit that line.
Yeah. He's gonna hit it right now.
If he doesn't move, he's gonna scum. He's gonna scum.
Yeah.
He hits the line. What will he do? It looks like. No, your torpedo looks like it's gonna hit him if he doesn't move right now.
Good stuff. Oh,
It's gonna hit his.
It missed him.
No, you one hit.
One hit. Good. Thank goodness.
I got him on fire also now.
He's flooding.
He's not scumming, and why am I not moving?
No, he doesn't know what he's doing. I would say that.
He doesn't know of the scumming.
No.
But once he finds out, we don't know whether if he's going to abuse it or not.
I would launch another torpedo now, but we've got this Tinru coming up on the other side of the island, and if I launch, it's going to hit that guy.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually more worried now about battleship because he's not. Oh wait, is he looking at me? I know he's turning his guns now to the other ship there. Yeah, and nice kill on the.
Now I can't shoot that South Carolina because Tinru is there. All
Hopefully that then you put some torpedoes out and softens him up, because I think that's the least he can do now for being really full ham, going full ham, which he did. And the Kawachi is sort of like dodging it, so he's eaten 3 torps. Good health damage though. Rip our Tenryu. He will be missed. Yeah, my engine's broken, I forgot. Oh, another St. Louis.
Let's see what's going to happen. I'm probably going to get blown to smithereens here. Yeah, that was bad.
Just like you're in the danger zone. Just believe. Oh no, you got the battleship. Nice kill. Nice kill.
But I got everybody else and their brother out shooting for me now.
Yeah. Except that the other Chikuma there is like dead.
That St. Louis is going to take me out though.
How many seconds do you have reload on your torpedoes? I forgot.
It's like 30.
Come
on. I should pull this out, but oh no.
You hit an island again?
I did.
Oh no.
That's exactly what I did.
Oh no.
Although I'm in the smoke, so they're shooting at the wrong spot. But barely. That's hilarious.
That is true.
Oh my god. Oh shit, there's somebody else coming into the smoke now. I'm gonna get whacked.
Yeah, it looks like that St. Louis is out for blood. Is he going in? Like, is he really like just driving in straight to you? It looks like he is.
Yeah, he is. Both of them are.
Did he just miss that salvo towards you? Or I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh god, that's other St. Louis here.
Oh, I don't have him. I don't have him.
They're all just going for you.
Oh!
They're just converging on your
totally.
location, just looking at you like, destroyer, destroyer.
If I had started the turn in reverse properly, I would have put both those torpedoes right up his nose.
Probably.
Oh well. All right, I'm gonna come over to you. Here's one thing I said this last night.
Ow.
What I would really like is when you go to spectator view after you've been killed, you go to spectator view. The game should default to sending you to your division mate.
It should. It's actually really annoying that you have to like cycle around all over the place just
Yeah.
to get to your teammate, and then at times it just misses your teammate entirely.
Yeah, exactly.
Your division mate.
Yeah, that really irritates the crap out of me. And if you don't have a division mate, it should send you to the next closest player, not all the way across the damn map.
Yeah,
But
not all the way across the map to the carrier that's like just sitting there.
exactly.
And you're like, and I have to shift to wherever.
All right, so since tonight is the very first night of open beta, Excess, what would you like to? What if you were king for a day and you had all the new players that have come into open beta in a room? What would be your one like thing that you would tell them? What would be your piece of advice that you'd give out?
Situationally aware.
Okay, right.
Because most situations, it's like you could avoid something by just being aware. And I mean, even though like you're a tier 3 battleship, and like you're up against like a tier 4 carrier like the Hosho and stuff like that, and he's just dropping torpedoes around you. It just really comes down that if you
Our team has taken the lead.
and the mindset also that you should stop changing it from being like I'm a battleship, I should be invisible or invincible, to like I'm a battleship and everyone's actually going to be looking at me because I'm a delicious piñata of health and
Right.
EXP.
Right.
And I mean, this was a discussion I had with a friend before, and we were like discussing about the battleships, and we were like, we both agreed that battleships are easy to play, but in actuality, they really have the short end of the stick. That's because there are aircraft carriers in this game, and aircraft carriers were the thing that pretty much made the battleship a sad ship.
Right. Right. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's,
If there was no aircraft carriers in this game, the battleship would be king, and that's it. But in this game, battleship it's just a floating piñata. Everyone looks at you. They want to kill you because you have EXP and you can pretty much one shot. And that's the only thing. That's the only thing special. You can one shot different ships. But other than that,
no,
not really.
I do like the rock paper scissors philosophy that they put into this game. I think it needs some tweaking, and I think it just doesn't need an overall general broad tweaking. I think it needs a level by level matchmaker sort of tier by matchmaker tier tweaking.
I'm actually not sure about that because we were having a discussion about it also, and we also brought in the topic of heavy tanks. And heavy tanks are sort of be like they're not meant to be like they're really great for breakthrough, and battleships are actually pretty great for breakthrough movement. They're pretty good at smashing stuff, but
Right.
it's just that they're not. I think most people just associate a battleship with like with power, and I wouldn't mistake that. Like a battleship has like a lot of power, but the little bunch of guys riding airplanes can just ruin your day pretty hard, and that's a mindset people have to understand, that the carriers will always want to screw you over.
Sure, but that means the players that get experience in this after a while,
Yeah, they will
they'll
understand. They will adapt to the situation.
sure, they'll division up. They'll division up with a Cleveland or an Atlanta or somebody
Yeah.
else who's got a lot of anti-aircraft
Yeah.
protection,
Or
and
like in the higher tiers, where like
sure,
they are a floating anti-aircraft.
yeah,
over
like
top of
the
being a battleship.
Iowa, the North Carolina. Even though they say they've taken out a bunch of the anti-aircraft fire from those guys, they're still
Yeah.
pretty significant. So, you know, but I do like the rock paper scissors things because destroyers are hard to hit, but they can kill the carriers.
Yeah, it
Everybody
is.
else can kill the destroyers. The cruisers can get killed by the battleships. I mean, I like it. I just think it needs some tweaking a bit at a time. I don't like the fact that the early aircraft carrier layouts are, you know, bombers and torpedo planes or basically fighters. They really need to fix that back to the way it
Yeah,
used to be.
they shoehorned like the Americans into like like air superiority, and how much do you earn from like doing air superiority? Not much. Right?
Nothing. Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like, and then you go to the Japanese, and just get strike loadouts. You just get a lot of like torpedo bombers, just
Yeah.
you know, forming on you, and it just gets a bit frustrating at times. Like, I
Yeah.
wish they gave us control over how we made our loadouts instead of like also like going to like give like shoehorning us into like what loadout they want us to give.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's
I'd
why I
rather
stopped
have a
playing
system
carriers.
like in Navy Field where it's like instead of like you don't like have a slider for like shells. It's like a slider of like the different planes, and you just mix and balance that.
Well, I wouldn't even mind it if they said you have X number of squadrons available of all types, and
Yeah.
pick these squadrons. You know,
Actually, yeah, that'll actually be okay.
yeah.
Like you could just pick what squadrons you want instead of like how many planes you have. That's actually okay.
And so what you know, I was starting in the carriers, and I was doing a lot of co-op, co-op battle, with the low tier carriers just to learn how to play them. I didn't want to get into a game where it really counted for people and be a complete idiot, you know. And I was trying manual drops, and I was just really learning how to play the carriers. And then we had one of those, one of the patches came along, and it totally changed your ship loadout for different aircraft types. And I was like,
I think it was the recent patch actually.
yeah, it was like right
4.0.
It was at 4.0, the one right before that. Either way, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. So I'll have to make that very painful grind.
I will actually still play my carriers because Japanese carriers right now are actually very broken in terms because they're just torpedoes everywhere. And if you're just in tier 4 and tier 5, you're literally just clubbing seals with that.
Ah, interesting. Well, there you heard it. You heard it there first, folks. Seal clubbing in Southeast Asia and North America with Japanese tier 4 and 5 carriers. So, all right, look, ExESGO, we're gonna wrap it up here. Is there anything else that you want to say? Do you want to make a plug for your YouTube page or Twitch or Twitter or anything like that? Now's the time.
Yes, my channel is. You can visit my channel at ExESGO. It's just ExESGO. The X is just a small letter. Everything else is The X is the small letter. Everything else is just a capital letter. My Facebook. I have a Facebook page. It is also ExESGO, except I think it's titled ExESGO Games. So you can like that page if you guys want to. But yeah, that's really around it. I make videos weekly on World of Warships. I have 2 weekly series, which would be the Replay Academy series and the Warship series, where for the Replay Academy I go over a replay and then I would give you would ask me, I'd watch a replay that you'd send in, and I would take a look at it and I'd give my commentary over how you played. And the Warship series, which would be where I go over where I give an overview of a warship for that week. Other than that, I also play games like Killing Floor 2 and Red Orchestra, and my series for Red Orchestra will be starting also very soon.
Excellent. All right. Well, listen, I will put the links to all of your information on the bottom of this video when it gets posted on YouTube. And man, look, anytime you're on, hit me up. If I can do a division with you, I absolutely will. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for checking in from the Philippines. And everybody, I hope you enjoyed this. ExESGO, check out his stuff on YouTube. Definitely give him a like and a subscribe. Check out his 2 different series on World of Warships. They will be helpful to you if you're coming into open beta. And that's it. So everybody, thanks very much. ExES, stick around for just a second while I sign off here. But everybody, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next one. Our next video is going to be with Calphilus, who is a guy in the forum who's a super tester, alpha tester, beta tester, and he will be coming in to play a couple of games with me to do an interview with him as well. And so be sure to check that one out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. You have a great day.